So I'm always curious, like, does that play a role in how you dealt with people, created friendships, how you dealt with your own family?
I would say the people that, in the church that I grew up with were like a community indeed. So I was really grateful to not have like a negative experience in church, where
That's
it's
good.
like I didn't notice any craziness, but like
Yeah.
everybody was always there for each other. So that was
That's, to me, that's the best case scenario. That's
Yeah.
like when you have true fellowship and true community,
Yeah.
right? Where people actually support each other.
Yeah, so I don't have any really negative connotation in where I went to church or like anything, and the people I went to church with were great.
I don't know how you would identify, but how has your experience been from your family's perspective? How would they determine how they view culture? So, like, for some people that grow up here in the country, they have American values and norms and traditions that they may subscribe to. And then those of us that have family from other parts of the world, they have their traditions that they bring here. Do you have any element or experience of that as you were getting older?
We were very religious growing up. I remember doing like Catholic, like what is it?
Well, like confessions?
Well, no, like we did the whole catechism, I think, or like
I don't remember
it
all
was
the
like
words.
a
I wasn't
whole
Catholic.
thing, and I got baptized and did all these classes when I was like 7 years old, and
Okay.
I just don't obviously remember any of it because I didn't really like I don't resonate with that very much. But
That's fair.
then I grew up non-denominational Christian in like the 90s down in Miami, so
Okay.
I think that was the most rebellious that I've really ever been mentally, is like reading the Bible and then going to church and being like, I don't understand this and I don't understand that, and why do we do this and why do we do that? And
Which I think happens to a lot of us, right? For those that kind of,
I was a little bit more aware at a younger age
Yeah.
about things.
I mean, there is, for most people, I think there is a level of sort of indoctrination that has to happen. Like, if mom and dad are on one accord, like, your kid's probably going to be a part of it too. And
Yeah.
obviously you don't really get a vote.
No, not at all.
But do you think that was something that, like, did your parents sort of impress that upon you? Like, you need to walk this certain path from a religious lens?
My grandmother, yes. She's very religious, and then she changes her religions kind of frequently, so it's like kind of hard to even please her
Yeah.
in that way, if you did want to please her in that way. But my mom is she believes everybody should have their own personal thing, and she doesn't want to really impede on anybody else's freedoms, essentially.
Would you say, like, in your earlier...
But I always had to go to church back when I was a kid.
That was going to be my question.
She
Like,
was a worship leader, and I was always
Did that
in
did that
church.
change though? Like, from younger to older, where it was you had to go a lot, and then you guys
After
just kind of
11 or
stopped?
12, that was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
And then by the time I moved back up to New York, I don't maybe went to church like during New Year's or Christmas or something when Grandma came to visit or something.
Okay. So, would you say now, do you subscribe to any elements of that, or are you more open?
I would say I like to pick and choose different things from each religion. I think a lot of them hold a lot of great morals.
Sure.
But essentially, to me, it's all just literature that we put more energy into in certain ways.
Yeah.
And it could be a good thing, and it could also be a bad thing.
I think there's, for those that are like fundamentalists and they're like, we want to follow it by the letter that's in whatever text you're
But
reading
whose
from.
letter? How many times has it been edited?
That's the debate people have. I think theological scholars have those debates all the time.
I don't even know all the
trying
things.
to figure out. I don't either. But I did grow up Christian, so I speak about that experience because I think for some of us, especially when you talk about religion, there are inherent rules that usually you're told day in and day out, so it kind of becomes, again, part of your worldview. So I'm always curious, like, does that play a role in how you dealt with people, created friendships, how you dealt with your own family?
I would say the people that, in the church that I grew up with were like a community indeed. So I was really grateful to not have like a negative experience in church, where
That's
it's
good.
like I didn't notice any craziness, but like everybody was always there for each other. So that was.
To me, that's the best case scenario. That's
Yeah.
like when you have true fellowship and true community,
Yeah.
right, where people actually support each other.
Yeah, so I don't have any really negative connotation in where I went to church or like anything, and the people I went to church with were great. I still hold on to, respecting and having a personal relationship with God, source, whatever it is you want to define
Yeah.
that because I still believe in source, or, I don't really believe that we as humans know everything to really.
I think we can all fundamentally say we don't know everything. There's a lot of unknowns out there. We're still trying to figure it out.
But I'm accepting of all things. Like, I think I was Buddhist for most of my 20s, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
And still, I hold more of Buddhism and Taoism than anything else, and I feel like that's brought more peace into my life.
Just to clarify, so that all of us know, when you say Buddhist, are you talking more from like Chinese Buddhism, Indian Buddhism, or like other Asian?
More Indian.
Countries? Indian, okay.
Indian, and I got into Thai, like Buddhism, but it's a little bit much for me.
Okay. I mean, I don't have much experience there. I know a little bit about there are some differentiations depending on like where you
cutting
went.
my hair, I just don't know.
Oh, is that a thing? You have to cut your hair off?
Well, in some of the temples there, if you're even allowed to be in the temples there while you're a woman.
Really? I didn't know when.
In Thailand, I know specifically.
I'm surprised women would have to cut their hair. I mean, for men, I would think, yeah,
it's
for
that
sure.
release. It's that letting go of the.
I mean, listen.
Indoctrination of glamour and.
I've heard. Well, not to the extreme of shaving, right? But I've definitely seen those stories of like you go through a breakup and you're trying to feel better, so and you just cut it off and you're like, I feel like this new person and
I
I'm
dyed
free.
my hair once, like when I lost a job.
Or that too, right? Some way to just kind of reinvent yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
I usually just travel. I disappear into the mountains. That's how I reinvent myself.
So you retreat.
Yes.
Kind of like what was it? Julia Roberts' Eat, Pray, Love.
I never saw that movie.
Okay. Well, she retreated to India and she actually went to like the different temples and was praying and all that.
I go to California and like I would, as a Brooklyn girl, I hated nature and was scared of all animals and like.
That makes sense. You're in the concrete jungle.
I thought animals were scarier than humans, and then you're like, you go into like a hiking trail in California and like people are way worse than animals. Like, I don't know what I was thinking.
As long as it's probably not like a mountain lion.
Oh.
Because I believe they eat people out there.
Well. Big sticks, but make loud noises, and you're fine.
Just do it during the day.
Yeah.
Do it during the day. We don't want to risk anybody getting hurt.
I've only had one experience, and my friend got really loud, and it left.
Okay.
So I don't really know. I don't know if that works every time.
No, I don't know either. But I do think, to your point though, it's good. I like that element you just brought up to kind of challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Right. If you grew up city person and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get some of this wild wilderness adventure experience.
I couldn't even look over the Empire State Building because I was scared of heights, which is actually programming from my mother. Like I wasn't actually scared of heights, but I had to like let go of the fact that I wasn't. She was scared, and she just
like told you like don't go.
No, she didn't tell me anything, but I was around her, and when she was in fear of being in high places, then I empathically held on to that, like. I guess to feel connected.